Hey guys, I'm back. It's back. Premier League is back after a couple weeks out with internationals, friendlies, and Nations League. Not here to talk about that. Just gonna go dive straight into it. We've got straight back in on Saturday. We've got 7 matches on Saturday, 7 games to kick us off. Unfortunately, no 12:30 game. We're gonna have to wait deep into the afternoon. All 3 p.m.s, 6 3 p.m. games, and a 5:30. 5:30 being the biggest game of the weekend. We're gonna have Spurs at home against Chelsea. Now, I'm a believer that recent form means nothing after international break. That's how I feel personally. So I'm not really gonna, talk about or dive too much into recent form, recent matches, how players have been playing or teams have been playing, etc. I will note that some players have picked up a few injuries or players pulled out of injury for internationals. Spurs have been hit heavily at the back with injuries. I know Trippier's out injured, Rose is still out injured. Sanchez is out for at least a month, they say, minimum a month. So they've got those 3 out there. Toby, I think he's still out injured, back training. I don't know if he's fit enough to start against Chelsea. I doubt it. So they're gonna have some real inexperienced players at the back, like Foyth, and Aurier is gonna be a right back. And Davis probably going to be at left back, so it's going to be a weakened Spurs defensive side. And taking that into account, I'm just going to go ahead and say 2-1, but not to Chelsea, to Tottenham Hotspurs. I actually think Spurs are going to win this game. I think Spurs are going to win it, and for some reason I had some premonition, but I think the goal scorers of the 3 goals: Hazard, Dele Alli, Harry Kane. 2-1 Spurs. And that's what I think. That's what I believe. I'm gonna just because, like I said, this international break, it kind of ruins momentum. Players get injured, or some players that don't play, they're out for 2 weeks not playing football, and then they lose a bit of momentum. Those that are not, like, because like some teams, like say like your Everton's and your Bournemouth, not every single player are international players, so they get a good lengthy break, but then they come back and they're out of momentum, and you're like, well, we expect them to win this game, etc., etc. So I'm just gonna roll through the games, and I'm just gonna tell you briefly what I think. So we have Brighton, who are playing Leicester. I think Brighton gonna nip that 1-0. Leicester haven't been playing amazing this season, and any victories that they do pick up, it's just just over the finishing line. Brighton have been sturdy this season, strong at the back, and I just think that they were just going to nick this 1-0. Our next 3 p.m. game, we have Everton at home to Cardiff. I just straight up think this is a demolition job here. I think Everton 3, Cardiff 0. I think Richarlison will bang a couple. And my tip of the week is, if any of you out there are FPL players, fantasy players, my tip would be to captain Richarlison this week. That would be my tip. We have our next 3 p.m. game is Southampton away to Fulham. It's a big match. It's a big match. Both teams are going to be fighting the relegation battle this season. That is without a doubt. Fulham have just sacked their manager. They've gone with Ranieri, former Leicester manager. So it's going to be his first match in charge. It's a home game, which is a little bit easier. You don't, want a first game and away game, especially when you're fighting relegation. So it's a little bit easier on the fact that they're at home. It's a fellow relegation candidate team. Can he do it? The Tinkerman, can he do it? I don't know. I'm gonna say 2-1 Southampton. I think Fulham got another loss in them here. I think they really got another loss in them here. They're gonna take about 2-3 games to like kind of get it right under him. So I'm gonna give it to Southampton. But Southampton are not amazing, but just. Man United at home to Crystal Palace. I think this is our second demolition job of the week. Well, should be anyway. And I'm also going to go 3-0 Man United, picking up just their second clean sheet of the Premier League season. I'm going to go 3-0 Man United. I generally am. I thought about it before and I thought maybe 3-1. But Palace are that poor. And United look like they could be picking up momentum. Could be, potentially. Could be. Especially, hot in form Martial at the moment. I want to go 3-0 Man United. Watford are at home and they're playing Liverpool. Now, I actually genuinely think Liverpool are dropping points here. I'm not going to say they're going to lose because obviously they're unbeaten all season. It means something. They're a strong side. I'm not just going to say they're going to lose, but I think Watford are getting something out of this. 2-2 seems a bit high considering how few goals Liverpool concede, but I was thinking 2-2. But I'm just going to peg it back a bit and say 1-1. 1-1. Watford 1, Liverpool 1. And I think Liverpool will get a draw. Wow, Spurs beat Chelsea. So Spurs are going to have a good weekend. This is what I predict anyway. I think Spurs are going to have a good weekend. Moving on, we have West Ham versus the Premier League champions and Premier League leaders, Manchester City. And I can't see anything other than 3 points from Man City. I'm going to say 3-1 Man City. Now, the reason why I say 3-1 and them conceding, Mendy's injured. And he's a big part of the way they play. He's a key player in that team. Obviously, they haven't had Kevin De Bruyne all season. Look how amazing they are, and how they have been. But again, Kevin De Bruyne is out, and when you're getting these key injuries and positions, it's gonna accumulate. And I just think playing away from home without Mendy, they're gonna concede to West Ham. West Ham are gonna push them because there's no point West Ham sitting back. Then I don't expect them to. They're gonna try and get the ball to Arnautovic. They're gonna try and be expansive as possible. And I think they'll get a goal. They'll get one. But I don't think Man City will be at their attacking best. I don't know. It's just a feeling. There's no evidence. There's no like proof or statistics behind it to say this is why. It's just a feeling that they're not going to be at their attacking best, but they will be good enough to get the win. And I'm going to go 3-1 Man City. Obviously that was the last of the 3 p.m. games, and then we got the 5:30, which is Spurs Chelsea, which we covered. And then we got 2 Sunday games. The first one being Bournemouth against Arsenal. Bournemouth at home. I think Arsenal's unbeaten run is ending here. I actually genuinely do. I actually think Bournemouth are going to win this one. It's going to be like a 2-1 or a 3-2. It's going to be like a flurry of goals. But I can't see Arsenal seeing this one out. I just can't. They're not convincing me. They're honestly not. And with how good Bournemouth have been, I can just see goals. And I can see Arsenal coming up like a mental block. Just can't break down Bournemouth. I can see it. I'm gonna go 2-1 Bournemouth. 2-1 Bournemouth against Arsenal is my verdict. And the last of the Sunday games is Wolverhampton Wanderers versus Huddersfield. The last time I expected Wolves to win, they lost. But I'm going to say Wolves again, and I'm going to say Wolves 2-0. Wolves 2-0 against Huddersfield. Not much to say, really. Huddersfield ain't that great. And then our final game, which is Monday Night Football, features Burnley at home to Newcastle, and I think Burnley will win that 1-0. Burnley will win that 1-0. And again, another key battle at the bottom of the table. Burnley going to need to start picking up some points. And I think that they will do it on Monday. With a little bit more motivation with the other teams at the bottom that have played during Saturday and Sunday. A little bit more motivation comes on a Monday. And I think they'll be good enough to see off Newcastle with a 1-0 victory. That's it from me. I just want to say a few things. Obviously, hit the like, hit the subscribe button, follow us on all of our platforms. Keep following the podcast. I think it's very interesting. Some good debates, some good topics. We've got some good upcoming topics. But I just want to say, this weekend, Neeks Sports and friends are heading out to Daytona Milton Keynes for a day out go-karting racing. I'm gonna be one of the main features. Obviously, I'm gonna be rigged up with cameras, GoPros, etc. But obviously, we're gonna film the day, we're gonna film the event, have a laugh, and we're gonna try and see if we can get that back to you lot, the best quality footage as possible. It's set to be Grand Prix style, so we're gonna have practice qualifying and then like a 30-minute race session from a good start. So that's on Sunday. We're going to film that and hopefully get that out as soon as possible. Stay tuned for that because it should be a blast. Just going to say, I'm going to win from now. I'm going to win from now. Just putting that out there. I'm actually the best racer out of all of us. And should have been the next Lewis Hamilton, really. But that's it from me. And again, stay tuned, like, subscribe, and follow us everywhere.